Ladies and gents, welcome. The energy is very high right now, which makes me happy. And that tells me we're well and truly getting into things here. We've got round 4 of Platinum. This series is a huge one. And we got Mr. Yo moving forward already to try and steal some resources here from Hearttt. I'm catching up to live time. But both players, after 3 rounds, only have 4 wins. And we just looked at it. It's likely whoever wins this series is safe and maybe in the best position to get 3rd place and thus go playoffs. But whoever were to lose this series could potentially be relegated or just not make the playoffs, which for the size of the names we're looking at here would be a big enough deal. Hearttt is playing as the Mongols, so he really wanted to push in his deer there. Yo came forward hoping to steal something, and Yo's going to run on back. Now, we were testing other things. We did not test this at all, so hopefully this works. We've got this, and of course it does. Never a doubt in my mind. That's the standings. Basically, Sizkan and Lucho are hoping one of these two gets swept right now because they're at 2 wins. They want Hearttt and Yo to remain at 4 wins. So if that were to happen, Lucho and Sizkan have life. They could maybe survive in Platinum League. So things are a lot closer there than what we thought it would be after the first 2 rounds. Yo's Civ pick is a nice Civ pick for the flexibility of this map. Docking the north is super valuable. So Malian's having the wood discount on everything. Adds up. A villager's already headed to the north. A villager for Hearttt already headed to the north as well. And Hearttt just put more on wood and less on food because his civilization has the faster hunt. So it's a nice way to use Mongols on a hybrid map like this. Though I am noticing Hearttt is not building a house right now. We were just talking about this. That like Hearttt isn't as Okay, there's the house. Never mind. Hearttt hasn't maybe been as active. I mean, Mr. Yo never stops playing AB2. He's always playing. But I've seen this a lot, guys. This trend where people are pushing deer and they send a random dock villager up. Like, this is so possible for Heartt's villager to get sniped here. But Hearttt, I don't know if he spotted it or not, but he ends up getting the dock position down. So that's an example of someone taking the risk and actually not getting punished. Hearttt able to push in the extra ostrich here, get the food. Both docks going up right next to each other here. The T90, why didn't Yo just kill all of Heartt's hunt? You can't kill anything with the scout, so that's just not a possibility. What you can do there is you could keep your own scout there, and you could just keep attacking Hearttt every time Hearttt tries to push. But then when you come forward that early, you don't find your own resources. Like right now, he didn't find this. He didn't take this. So basically, Yo's scout being forward, it didn't come with the reward that he was hoping for. And Heartt's already up here, guys. What is this uptime? Hearttt is up this quickly with a dock as well. Wow. I mean, it might be too fast. We talked about this last week. Now that you can shoot arrows from your dock, I'm wondering if garrisoning your fishing ships can actually range the opponent's fishing ships here. Like, yeah, like, okay, right there. He garrisons. Is he attacking the dock villager? Bro, he's hitting the dock villager. Oh my god, that's insane. Wait, somehow it's missing her. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, that's I mean, game changing potentially. And Hearttt smart thinking here. And yeah, he's just waiting, and Yo has just got to walk it back and forth. She's trapped in there. She can't really do anything about it. She's going to eventually die. Which means no second dock for Yo, and Yo is actually microing it. Yo is microing it because then the fishing ships aren't working for Hearttt. Go, lady, you could survive. You could survive. You could do it. You could do it. You can do it. You can live. 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 I demand you live. Well, she's going to die, obviously. And, I mean, that's a villager kill right there. And that's a villager that can't repair on the water. Meanwhile, Hearttt has 3 fishing ships working again, and Heartt's going to open up with the Hawk. This is why Mongols are so frequently banned, guys. Their ability to get up to the next stage that quickly, and what they could do with that is just... I mean, it can't be matched, really. And scouts out there for Yo looking around the back of his base. Yo didn't find these 2 sheep either. So honestly, I think the start for Heartt's perfect. The fact that Yo's down 2 sheep, Yo's scout also gets hit a couple times here. And Yo could potentially lose some fishing ships is a problem. Now, Hearttt just relocates the villager. And wait! Now, Yo's dock killed a fishing ship after he garrisoned. Oh, that's so cheesy, man. That is so cheesy. Okay, well, you know, you could save the fish for now. You could maybe make a Hulk. Scouts are still engaging. Losing your scout here would be really painful if you're Yo. And he will back away. Scout's on 2 HP. Scout there for Heartt is on just 7 HP. Heartt is going for an archer range as well. So, yeah. Docks only fire the arrows at a certain distance. The docks do have minimum range with this. So you still could fight back a water if you want to in Yo's position, but so far Yo has not done that. Heartt finds the goats, and Heartt's probably like, man, I'm off to a really nice start. Killed the villager. Did lose the fishing ship, but pretty much you're ahead on water. Scout's still alive as well to maybe scout the south. Heartt doesn't really take a lot of risks. I think it could be worthwhile to maybe come down there and take the hunt. But for now, no interest in that. Mr. Yo, soon out of food underneath the TC. Fishing ships aren't working, so food's a real concern for him. And I think he'll need the mill there on the berries now. The T90, does murder holes work on docks? That's actually a great question. I'm going to assume it does, but I can't actually tell you. I've yet to see anyone research murder holes when the dock is up, so... Yeah, the minimum range means that you can't just, like, sit here with 3 fishing ships and defend. But what you can do is you can hop out with 1 hawk and then bait your opponent away from the minimum range and then fight back. Like, that fishing ship is really weak. It's annoying for Heartt, but he needs to actually fish far away from his dock. The scout is still out there for Yo. Scout is still here for Heartt, and Heartt's just... He needs to track the army here while also paying attention on the water. Heartt's villager wants to auto-build that palisade from earlier, so that's what's getting attacked. But she should survive. Heartt's tracking the archers. Yo was really hoping that Heartt would be down here, which he's not. And Heartt saw that army moving out, and he's got his blacksmith up, and he's getting fletching. Amazing job from Heartt to track this. I'm assuming he might just miss this, which could give Yo a little bit of momentum. Okay, the hawks are out. This is what I mean. You pull away from the dock, and then you can actually get some damage output onto the hawks. And it's just really annoying if you're Heartt, because you've already invested so much on the water. You want to be winning it. But then you also have this to worry about. And I've seen Mr. Yo bring these types of games back. My impression on the water balance right now is that the docks are extremely strong. And if there was something I would want the devs to eventually tweak, I think the docks do too much damage as is. That's just my feeling. Heartt lost his scout down here. And I think Yo saw the archers, and the archers are moving away. But yeah, like, Yo's still alive on water. Able to put his fishing ships back out. Yo has added some farms. Yo has quite a few archers here, and Yo didn't get tracked with these archers. Scout's still around the map. And guys, if you have the emote, please spam it. It's Mr. Yo. You know Mr. Yo is playing his best when he is able to make this happen. He so consistently makes it happen where he puts this bad boy on auto scout. He is the highest auto scout click rate of any pro player. And it's pretty nice as well, because you always want that score lead. And Mr. Yo, what a rebound here. What a recovery. He didn't end up losing too much on water. He's now ahead on land, which becomes so valuable in this map. And Heartt's got to be thinking, like, come on. Like, I thought I beat him on water already. And both players will understand how important this series is. Like we said, loser this series likely doesn't make the playoffs, depending on how a couple things play out. But Heartt gets pushed off the berries. Heartt's army's going forward. Mr. Yo needs to track this. I think Mr. Yo has a sense the army is here. So he matches with the archer numbers, and he gets pushed off the golds. But then there's still this to worry about. And both players have their docks garrisoned right now. But I guess in Yo's case, his dock is still ranging some of Heartt's ships there. Or at least it was. There's a lot of quick walling going on. Yo with the quick walls there. Archers still haven't killed that. There's a skirmisher here from Heartt. And Heartt has armor now too. So Heartt should be able to clear that. Yo might just sacrifice the scout. Rip. Close game. Close game. Yo's still tracking this nicely. Heartt's still tracking this nicely, but that villager's actually exposed. So she's going to go down. So that makes it 2-1 with the Eco KD. But then at the same time, Heartt gets the pick off back there. Honestly, it's really close right now. I think we could see very similar Castle Age times. Heartt has spent a little bit more food on the armor and on the skirms. But, oh, man, nice job with these 3 archers here. Hearttt still had his fishing ships working, and he is finally going to Hulk down the fishing ships in the north. So I think spending the additional food is more than fine. Unless he gets caught out here by Yo. Yo is adding the scouts now. Yo just hasn't been able to compete with the micro. Like, Heartt's micro here is just incredible. I thought these archers were going to be cooked. He doesn't get the villager snipes he wants, but this gives Hearttt a lot of time at home. And yeah, I'm curious how much he advances out, or how far he advances out with the skirmishers. Because Yo's still massing quite a few scouts, and Hearttt still hasn't seen that. I mean, I think for Hearttt, he can always just mix in archers and some spears, and it's fine. But he needs to know about this. And this is the ideal scout switch from Yo, because he shows up with 3 of them. It's not just 1 or 2. And now he can chase this down. He's got the numbers to take an even trade there and finally kill these archers off. So down will go skirmishers. You still would expect Hearttt to be able to fall back towards some more archers. I think it was so key he didn't make that many skirms. Because now that he's got the archers, in the end, what? He lost like maybe 2 units there. But yeah, Mr. Yo now has scout and archer, but there's some weak units there. Hearttt still has some nice HP on his units. Double archer range production. Smooth farm transitions from Hearttt. Only exposed resource is really going to be the berries. In Castle Age, this woodline becomes a problem, but for now, it's probably fine. And look at Hearttt patrol the shoreline as well. He's pretty much 1 water, so he's double checking to make sure there could be no redock. And come on, man. Just happens to have his Hulks directly where Yo is going. Obviously, that's just Hearttt thinking about the shoreline. It's just good fortune. I don't know if he spotted it, though. He's not actually patrolling them, and Yo noticed. And now Yo's just going to dock over here. Oh, man, but Yo is missing that Heartt's moving in this way. This could be a problem. There's a lot happening right now. This villager's here as well. Heartt's going to make it to the gold. Yo doesn't have a tower here. Yo is to pull back. Yo also has the scouts here at the same time. Yo mixed in a couple skirms of his own, which is nice. But I feel like this has got to be better for Hearttt at the moment. He's pushed Yo off of the main gold. Hearttt is defending here. He's cleared up every single scout. And Heartt's on the way to Castle Age a little bit faster. So smooth start for Hearttt. I mean, it all started from the early stages with the Mongols. And it just... Honestly, there's just not many players in the world that can compete with Hearttt when you're essentially doing the same thing as him. Like, Hearttt will find whatever that meta is, and he will try and min-max it and play as efficiently as possible with it. And even if you know what's coming, it's very difficult to stop. And for Yo, I think he normally thrives on, like, counterattacks, which he hasn't really been able to find this game. And Mr. Yo has redocked to eventually kill the fish, but I just have to feel like those fishing ships might not matter too much anymore. What's up, Captain Squirtle? Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Yo... I don't think Mr. Yo's aware how many people are used to Yo being in the red. I don't know. People are saying their brain is broken when Yo is in the blue here. The joke last week was that Yo can't win if I don't put him in red. So, but he's gonna need to win today, and he consistently chooses blue. And Heartt's always the player who plays red as well. Okay, Hawks are out. So Yo's hoping for some damage here, because he is getting completely pushed off of his golds. It's a really bad situation for Yo. I need some counter damage, but he can barely afford to get the upgrades on his army here. Second town center's coming up for Hearttt. Hearttt also has crossbows over here. And Mr. Yo, 4 wins right now in the group stage. Coming into round 4. It's the same for Hearttt, obviously. The first win's going to matter for so much, and Yo's just... His worker efficiency's way down. He didn't even end up sniping the fish because Hearttt could just re-garrison real quick, and Hearttt is just massacring him right now. That's looking pretty good for Hearttt. Again, coming into the series, I predicted Hearttt 2-1. Before Titans League started, I had predicted Yo 2-1. But having seen the players play, even though they both have 4 wins, I've been really impressed with Heartt's performance, despite the scoreline. And I don't know, it just feels like Yo just isn't quite fully himself yet this season. Sometimes being a slow starter for Yo is a problem in these group stage formats because he loses some games early, has to recover late. And being in this group, it makes things so much more difficult. And, oh, man, Hearttt kills everything there. Yo just can't keep up with them right now. And now 15 eco lead for Hearttt. With a healthy army number as well. Siege Workshop is coming up. Still pretty much has his water working. Yo's got 5 skirmishers. What's up, Captain Squirtle? Thank you. Meister, Gibson, Andy. Thank you, everybody. What's up, Fermat? Smallhead, Undead Phil. Welcome. Yeah, I think Heartt's kind of played a perfect game. Because now he knows he's up against skirms. Skirms will become a problem. And the siege is already out. Or is on the way. He's also avoiding the skirmishers nicely. Getting some good value. The micro is super smooth here. I think a lot of this stemmed from how they were able to manage their economies when everything else was happening. But Hearttt just was able to find consistent damage on Yo's base this game. And here he comes again. Yo just can't keep up with him. Yo's hoping that skirmishers will clear out all the crossbows. He does clear out the army down there. But now 20 eco lead for Hearttt, and Hearttt will be on 3 town centers against 1. The players who tend to play a bit more risky will take the resources in the south, will take the food in Feudal Age. But I like that Hearttt didn't take the risk against Yo, because Yo knew about that. Yo looked down here to kill the Vills. Now Hearttt just felt like he didn't really need it. As for the stone and gold, when the game goes on way longer, this area becomes really valuable. But you still have more than enough stone and gold in your base for now. So there's no real reason to push out or take any big risk for that. I think Yo is... He's got chances if he can make enough knights to clear out these mangonels. Because there's really not a big supporting army for them right now. So he does have the stable still. He is massing a couple knights. But his eco is looking pretty brutal right now. Doing what he can to get any counter damage. There is a hole here, actually. Yeah, Hearttt overchopped the woodline so the skirmishers can get through. Yo misclicks for a second, though. Hearttt gets the palisade. And now the mangonels are here. And oh, God. Good luck here, Mr. Yo. And yeah, he was always bound to lose to skirmishers. 3 mangonels against 5 skirmishers. Yo loses his counterattacking army. And game number 1 goes to Hearttt. And that is exactly what Hearttt wants and exactly how you want to play the Mongols. Early pressure in Feudal Age. He actually used it very efficiently on water. But he transitioned into the land. And you could tell when you watch Hearttt play, typically you look at the APM bar. You could tell he's faster than his opponent. Yo's not necessarily known for his speed. And Hearttt just balanced out his resources perfectly there. Well played. So that's just first game. We have a play all 3. But reminder that whoever loses this series is likely not falling into the top 3 and could potentially be in the relegation conversation. So live standings, we've got Hearttt with 5 wins now and Yo with 4. Yo will hope for some more luck on his home map. Okay, so I thought, like almost with certainty, that we were going to see Hearttt save Chinese for game 3, which would be on Monocle. But he actually goes for Chinese on Northern Crossings. Interesting. You know, there is a ship that the Chinese get, which we rarely talk about, called the Dragon Ship. And I don't know if that's here. Yeah, the Dragon Ship. It is a unique warship for the Chinese. I wonder if maybe the Dragon Ship is very solid counterplay against the Koreans. We could see double unique ship in this game. Heartt's certainly cooking something up here. I mean, Chinese are typically seen as very good on all maps. And it's a weakness on water just because they've struggled with getting the start going. But honestly, their navy's very strong. They get fully upgraded galleons, fully upgraded hulks, fully upgraded fires, fully upgraded demos. You get Lu Xuans, which are very strong. I guess what they're lacking is like some of these upgrades in the university now. But I mean, certainly looking at the tech tree and just knowing how smooth the Chinese start typically is, I really like the decision for Hearttt here. You have a guaranteed eco lead with the Chinese. Your opponent can't really do anything to disrupt that in the Dark Age. So it's about a 2 villager lead guaranteed for Hearttt because they start with the extra vills. And Hearttt only has 21 seconds vital TC so far. I think for now, players are just going to push in the deer here. So, but yeah, can someone tell me, is there someone out there who's very experienced with dragon boats? Or is it dragon ships? I've seen them before, but I haven't seen them since the water update. So I don't know how they would fare against the turtle ships, for example. But that was the big thing. The last 2 weeks, we've seen the turtle ships look really strong from the Koreans. And even before you talk about these turtles, your warships being 20% off is crazy strong. And getting the tower upgrades for free, Mr. Yo's probably going to want to move over here at some point and drop a bunch of towers and make it messy. And Koreans are easier to play. Chinese probably have the greater peak if you can play to its fullest potential. And that's just kind of what you expect from Hearttt. He's going to play the civs to the fullest potential. What's up? What's up, Fab? Thank you very much for the 17 months. Fab, not really a time and place. We're round 4 to discuss potential changes for future seasons. It's something after the event I can talk to you guys about, make videos on. We're going to focus on things as is. Thanks for the love. There's a time and a place. We'll get there. Been really happy with how the season has gone. What did you guys think about silver and gold? I loved it so much. I really hope if there's someone here who did not watch the silver and gold playoffs, that you take my word for it and watch some of them. It was so good. Like the playoffs to get promoted, and even just the silver and gold last final week. Holy crap, man. It was so close. We had a group in silver where the top 3 all had 10 wins, and it went to a triple tiebreak to determine who ended up going first, second, and third. And then their playoffs were awesome. We also had 2 instances where the final game determined whether differing players would go relegation zone or playoffs. Yeah, it was really intense. So thanks everyone who watched that. I know there's actually an overload of content. There's probably too much happening. You guys would probably have to stop focusing as much on family and work and stuff to follow all of it. And maybe you have, I don't know. Maybe your productivity has gone down this month or this year so far, but yeah, thank you. It was super fun. Scout is in the form of a transport ship on the back for Hearttt. You start with the transport ship, so find Sadakas on the back. Just as Mr. Yo is doing the same. And so located both the dock positions, both players probably assuming a relatively passive play. Honestly, I've seen quite a few fast castles in silver and gold. Not so much in platinum yet. I think that's just because in platinum, players can get the better use of the timings, get the value from it, and Heartt's going to click up here. And Heartt's going for a barracks as well. Feels like the barracks time is for man-at-arms, and he's looping around his scout, his transport ship. So I think it's going to be scout, transport ship waiting here, and then militia and a villager loading in. Not sure about the Vil. Maybe that's not something he'll want, but sometimes players will bring villagers and militia. And Mr. Yo's transport's still in the back. Actually, showing this should tell Hearttt that he's not being forwarded. His transport would never be here if you were being forwarded. Almost looks like Yo is trying to block the fishing ship efficiency with his transport ship. But yeah, Hearttt sees that. Heartt's mining camp's a little inefficient right now. That one villager, that's like one of the viewers on Twitch right now. He's like at work, but not really working that efficiently. And okay, his boss just walked by, so he's going to work a little bit more. That makes sense. But yeah, everything's loading in. There's a villager, 3 militia, and the scout loaded into the transport ship. This is not the start of a bad joke. And luckily for Yo, you do have the additional line of sight from the Korean villagers. And he's walled up with a wood line and a gold, so this probably wouldn't immediately do damage or surprise him. Hearttt doesn't really know what he's going to encounter over here. But Yo is seemingly going fast castle. He's up very late compared to Hearttt. And here comes Hearttt now. Now, Hearttt only has 5 fishing ships. We'll see if he adds a Hulk or something. But he is going for the forward archer range. He's about to have 8 fishing ships, which means that for now, the Chinese have the higher resources collected, but Yo just has more workers, so it should even out. It's just a question of if he gets punished. I think Yo should expect some type of forward. It wouldn't surprise me at all to have his scout come home. The scout's actually forward. Usually, the villager's there too. I actually think a forward dock from Hearttt would make a lot of sense to pressure the water. And Man-at-Arms are attacking the house. Here comes the Archer. Yeah, Yo can't see that. But he will queue up Loom after his Villager. Go Market Blacksmith. And a tower there. Interesting from Hearttt. I feel like they've reversed what I was expecting. The roles for these civilizations. I thought we would see Yo go forward and Yo tower. And Yo make it messy to try and punish the Chinese eco. But it's been the opposite. But Yo doesn't know that tower is going up in the back. That could be annoying. And Yo will tower here to protect from the archers and the man-at-arms. Which is not a bad move, but then the wood line will get kind of awkward. Now Hearttt is adding his first Hawks here. But the plan for Yo is to get to turtle ships. Is there anyone new here today? Genuinely. Because I need some input on something that's coming up. All right? It's very important. I think the devs are kind of annoyed with me that I brought it up. But it's really bothering me. Okay, tower goes up for Hearttt. All right, Hopple's new. Hopple's new. Perfect. When we see a turtle ship, Hopple, I need your advice. Don't... Everyone else is not new. That's just a meme. Just wait for it. Wait for it. Yo might have an issue affording some of this, but I like this. He actually just buys the tower. Why not? You're going to get those tower upgrades for free in a moment. Buys the tower. So far, Hearttt didn't get the value he wanted, but here comes the first Hawk. But again, you can garrison in the docks. So you're able to play a bit more defensive here. Behind this, you would expect Heartt's eco management to be solid. Never got fishing lines. I'm telling you guys, all the top players are not used to it yet. Everyone needs to be getting fishing lines. Fishing lines is now a feudal age eco upgrade. Hearttt, it's cheaper for him. Like, he should have that, but they're just not used to it yet. There's been so many changes with the most recent patch. Now, it's kind of nice for Hearttt because you can just put some archers in the tower to shoot this down. But once guard tower comes in, then it gets kind of brutal. Guard tower should completely wreck that tower. All right, is Mr. Yo going to be able to make a turtle? Did the devs say something? Well, so here's what happened. I didn't actually go to the devs and say, hey, guys, the ores on the turtle ships are going the wrong way. I'm not going to be that guy. That just... The devs are working hard. They don't need that energy. But what I did do is I have talked about it countless times on stream, you know, in front of you guys. And there was a dev in my chat because they dropped the ... the first time I mentioned it. And I don't want to say who it was because you guys are going to hunt them down. But it was like the ores were moving and I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then I was like, wait a second, something's not right here. And then they dropped the ... So that's why I kept clarifying. Like, I'm not ungrateful. Okay, well, so far, I mean, Hearttt has bought himself a lot of time with this. And look at the efficiency, guys. Worker efficiency, last minute, 50% for Yo, 77% for Hearttt. Heartt's just taking no damage. Here he's attacking the transport. Here he's keeping things busy with the Hawks. This tower is still repairing. He will actually run out of stone to repair that, which hurts. I still think he will consider this all worth it, because we haven't even seen the first turtle ship here. Hearttt just so much military control. And he's getting forging now. He's going to lean heavy into the water. And it's going to be Hawk v just a couple Hawks. And if he upgrades these Hawks, I really don't even think one or two turtle ships can change the game. Such a nice opening from Hearttt. It's just patient, right? Like, he recognizes he's not going to kill Yo with the actual kills in the game. It's just all about controlling the game with the efficiency. I've been impressed. Again, the 8 fishing ships behind, just working freely this whole time on multiple docks. I still don't think he got the fishing lines upgrade, but he's definitely going to just upgrade his navy and then try and push Yo. Meanwhile, Yo was expecting this tower to be gone. Yo isn't even on stone, actually, so Yo's out of stone to repair this. Rocket cart's on the way, though. And I think the timing here is critical. Yo can't lose this tower. That would be so frustrating. And in 10 seconds, Hearttt gets a bit more HP on his tower, but... yeah, it looks like Hearttt will lose the tower. Jailbar says Hawks counter turtle ships, so there's no reason to make them. Yeah, so you say that, and I think that's the way it's balanced, but based on games I've seen, I don't think anything counters the turtles if you get to like 4 to 6 of them. I could be very wrong. It's still very new, but that was initially my impression. I thought that there was going to be viable ways to beat the Hawks, and then, the turtles. The turtles look insanely strong right now for the cost. Hearttt has only killed 2 economic units. He's about to lose his first one. But look at the difference in resources collected now. And he does upgrade his Hawks now. So now they're War Hawks. And yeah, Yo has pretty much completely lost water. So he recovers the land. He will not have his fishing ships anymore. And Hearttt drops TC number 2. Hearttt drops TC number 3. But, you know, Koreans are probably the better late game civilization. Probably. I could be wrong. Actually, I think I am wrong because the Chinese are stacked. They have the economy for the start, and then their navy is unreal. They even get shipwrecked. Like, there's not a lot that they're missing. And Lu Xuans are a really strong ship. So, once Lu starts to Xuan, I think that Yo will have even bigger problems. Yo does have the defensive tower still. Yo's on 2 TCs. Yo will probably drop the 3rd TC. Yo did also collect 2 relics, which is very nice. But he needs some counterplay here. Some type of counterattacking would be nice. This is not bad. The Hawk's coming down this way, not killing the man-at-arm, but getting down into the fishing eco could be nice. But I think Hearttt notices that, and I think Hearttt is adding a little bit of resistance there. Like, Yo just has a tendency to hold on. And Koreans with their towers and their cheap ships should be very hard to kill off. Heartt's recognized that. Heartt's going for the patient approach. He's not really going for a lot more army. But let's see if Yo can bring this one back. Because, guys, if Yo loses 3-0, he is, like, in 4th place, and the players in 5th and 6th place are only 2 wins behind him. And one of those players plays him as well. I forget who, and I think Yo is to play. Can someone remind me? Yo's. No, this is 4th round. Yeah, he has 1 more round after this. So that would be up against Lucho. And I think Lucho's playstyle is really good against Yo. I put in my prediction contest before the season that Lucho would win that 2-1. Maybe I'm believing in the kid a little bit too much, but I asked Doubt about it, and Doubt said that he agrees that his playstyle is very good against Yo, but it will come down to Lucho's mentals, because Lucho can sometimes lack some confidence, and he's quite young. Mr. Yo will have a lot of confidence too, so like Cav investment from Hearttt seems like a very smart addition here. He knows there's monks out there. Clearly Yo is trying to come back on water. Like Cav will run through. Nice splits there from Hearttt. Even just sniping 1 monk would be beautiful here. And he doesn't get it. But what he does do is he can sink out lots of damage into the dock right now. But Hawks don't take down docks very quickly. And yeah, Yo is going to go. He's made a war galley. So yeah, the way the water triangle is supposed to work is war galleys counter Hawks. And then fires counter war galleys. And then Hawks counter fires. Nice conversion there for Yo. I mean, Heartt's already adding his own war galleys now, so he's pretty much just matching what his opponent's doing already. And also the benefit of the war galleys is that the garrisoned docks with fishing ships can't necessarily end you when attacking the docks. So you could actually take down the docks. Hearttt doesn't have Bodcanero, though. But I assume there's going to be time for him to notice this, and it still feels like this was Yo's comeback condition, try and come back on water, and it's just being spotted. Like, Hearttt is just playing so smooth. University comes up, I'm sure for ballistics. Could also be for the other ship upgrades. And yeah, Hearttt actually not doing much damage there because he doesn't have Bodkin, and he doesn't realize that. He's actually firing uphill as well. So it's not exactly what he was hoping for. It's messy. This is exactly where Koreans can thrive, in these super sloppy games. And again, if Hearttt doesn't realize he doesn't have Bodkin Arrow and Yo gets the tower up, Yo hops out with the turtle ship or two, you never really know. Yeah, Yo's tower will complete and then he can immediately garrison there. I don't know. I'm starting to see some cracks here for Hearttt. Okay, now he realizes. Bodkin Arrow's on the way. Jay Blue says, T90, how are you tied for first in TTL Fantasy? Collusion, question mark? What do you mean collusion, question mark? You don't think there's a chance that I know things? Huh? You don't think I could possibly, I don't know, understand the matchups and the players very well and like, you know, I sit here talking my opinions, breaking down the event all day? You think I'm just clueless over here? Collusion. Listen, if it was collusion, I wouldn't be tied for first. I would win. Okay? I would collude much more convincingly. There's still plenty of time for me to lose my tied for first place, so I'm not going to get too egotistical here. But I am very happy with how things have gone so far this season as far as my predictions go. You'd think it wouldn't matter, right? You'd think the amount of viewers and the amount of support, like Wample subbing and Moogie Boogie subbing, all that's great. But no, I'm greedy, man. I want to win the prediction contest too. But my prediction on the prediction contest was 2-1 for Yo. And you had to submit it before all the season. And I saw that one coming into today, and I was like, oof. I'm kind of leaning Hearttt 2-1, and right now it's looking pretty bad for my prediction. I wonder if Hearttt will make the Luchuan. Luchuan, you can make an imp, and they're a very strong ship. Also, with this upgrade, Rocketry, your Scorpions, Rocket Carts, and Luchuans have plus 25% attack, and Luchuans fire rockets. That is a crazy expensive upgrade. But let me tell you, Wu Luchuans are so broken with the extra projectiles. Nobody seems to be talking about it or seeing it at the high level that much right now. Luchuans are incredibly strong even without the unique text, to be fair, but... Yo is on the way to Imperial Age faster, though. Yo is getting Clinker Construction, which I think Hearttt just ended up researching. Yo is 27 War Galleys. It is 25 for Hearttt. And Hearttt will start to mix in some fires. Now, we talked about the Dragon Boat earlier. The Dragon Boat is only available in Imp, I believe. And it's kind of like a fire ship in how it operates. Yo has done a great job just coming back, staying alive in this game. Here he comes with some villagers now. And so now he'll start to stack some towers. This becomes really awkward for Hearttt. When there's Korean keeps everywhere, those keeps can sink so much damage into the ships. I'm starting to like Yo's position right now. I mean, he's got war galleys. He's got the cheap Korean ships. He's got the towers. He's got 2 relics. There's stone and gold tier 2. Feels like there's a lot of pressure on Hearttt to turn this around a little bit. And then Hearttt sees Imp, and Hearttt is probably like, wait, how? Ballistics on the way for Yo. Bodkin Arrow on the way for Yo. Monk on the way to get the relic in the middle. And then we'll definitely see the warships upgrade, so. I mean, even just denying wood lines. Like, denying this wood line can be important in these really long games. I think if it's going to be long, though, both players should save for shipwright. It feels like there's too much pressure for them to do it, but shipwright is a really big upgrade for both. Both civs do get it. Hearttt did build a random watchtower there, but he doesn't get any of the upgrades for free, so not sure how successful that is. This, on the other hand, like this with heated shot could be crazy strong. Did he get heated shot? Heated shot's a must right now. There's so many techs to get. Yo still didn't get heavy warships, which Hearttt is getting. He's not under a lot of immediate pressure, but I feel like he should be getting that tech right now. Chat, can you do me a big favor? This is a test to see how many people are actually paying attention to what I'm saying. Can everyone just say ding? Because there's so much dinging right now. It feels only fitting. That's the only noise that exists for boats, apparently. It's just a bell. Like, even added new boats, and they all just ding. Okay, there's... Look, we got the dragon boat, and then... Yes! That is how ores are supposed to move! Devs, we applaud you. That is what I'm talking about. That is how you're supposed to row a boat right there. That actually makes sense. Not whatever the turtle ship is doing. So, dragon ship, very quick right now, very tanky. Apparently, able to row faster than the galleons are going to be able to move. Yo, I think, catches a glimpse of this. They're fairly tanky, but you do need to have some backup. And, oh my god, okay. I feel like these should die to fire ships because they're made of very flammable, very flammable material. But they're also just dying to the towers right now, and no, Hearttt just needs his backup navy. Hearttt still has the navy on the outside. It's not doing much, so keep that in mind with the numbers. But yes, realistically, against that ship, I think you need to add hulks. The Yo's towers are getting trebbed down. We have not seen too many Luchuans yet from Hearttt, but he is starting to mass them. So yeah, this is... Hearttt didn't pick the Chinese just for the early start in the eco. He's actually picked them for the late game navy too. Towers only had a couple kills, so it's probably not worth it to have lost those towers. And the upgrades weren't even in for Yo. What's weird to me is that Yo is an imp for so fast. Here's Luchuan. Yeah, look at them row. That's so nice. They need to teach the turtle ship. That's so good. Like, Luchuan can dish out so much damage against galleons, it's not even funny. And that's before the unique tech. And they also take down buildings very quickly, so it's a very strong unit. Way better than a cannon galleon, in my opinion. But we'll see if there will be some hulks on the front lines here for Yo. Yo's getting treadmill crane and still stacking the towers. The dragon ships are tanking a lot here. But the Luchuans, they have that extra projectile. It's a bit of a tread projectile to use against the buildings. And yeah, one of those towers go down. It just simply seems to be more navy here for Hearttt. But maybe the numbers are deceiving because there's some numbers around the backside. The towers are just going down as quickly as they're placed. I don't think we'll ever see rocketry for Hearttt. The tech is just too expensive right now, but he's making lots of progress, and this combination of dragon ships in front, Luchuans and galleons behind is working. Mr. Yo just can't beat this. These dragon ships seem really strong. Just very tanky at the very least against the galleons. And Mr. Yo is just, it seems completely shocked and unsure what to do here. A heated shot is just now coming in, which would have helped the towers a lot earlier. He clearly was planning on having towers stacked up. And these Luchuans, they just take down the towers so quickly. So it's 2 volleys and then the towers go down. And then the dragon boats are always in front. Like, Yo doesn't have a tank. He doesn't have anything in front. He could go for fire ships, but he just cannot keep up with the production. Mr. Yo is about to have 4 wins. Hearttt will have 6. Winchester will have 6. Hearttt will have 9. And then you have the other players at the bottom of the group at 2. This puts Yo in a really rough position to ever make playoffs. But if he were to lose the final game as well, which Hearttt is going to want to take from him, it's a strong possibility that maybe Mr. Yo could be in the relegation zone. These fire ships just seem really good. I think the ratios from Hearttt are just perfect. You get 30 galleons, you get like 6 Luchuans, and then you get the fires on the front. Now, Hearttt didn't even try anything on land. He did drop a couple towers here, I guess. But beyond that, he's like, nope, this is a water map. And you could argue Chinese have the superior navy here. Even just losing your docks are so brutal here. Every dock is 150 wood investment. So, like, good luck. All that wood from Hearttt just gets invested into more navy. And, yeah, I think Heartt's just showing us how well-rounded he is. To open up as strong as he did on land, to then go to Yo's home map, which is water. We've had the new water changes here. I just don't think Yo has anything left. It's about to be 2-0 for Hearttt. Yo just can't believe it. Also, you hearing the little explosions there? So fire ships gain an explosive charge attack applies to the dragon ships. So you can kind of hear the little boom, 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 boom. And when they attack, right there was like an extra little charge attack on the first attack. So you get the base stats of the dragon ship, but then you also get the that charge upgrade from siphons. Here, you'll see it again. And, well, we didn't have time because game over. Yeah, Hearttt wins it. And game went on longer than the first game, but Heartt's just too good, man. I really like the Chinese pick. I thought he was going to play it on Monocle, but it's a civ with great economy. They have next level Navy now, which maybe that was questionable before. I don't think their Navy was ever the worst. But, like, yeah, the entire game, Yo was just reacting. The entire series, Yo has been reacting. Yo has not been able to dish out any pressure on Hearttt. And it feels like he's just trying to counter what Hearttt sends his way. And if you play that way against Hearttt, you are going to struggle. Hearttt showed us, even though he lost 3-0 to Hera, like, he was so good in that set. Probably could have had a win or two. Like, Hearttt, there's just not many people in the world that can really beat him when he's playing his best. It looks pretty damn close to it right now. 29K wood collected, 14K food collected, 12K gold collected, and 3,200 stone collected. More of every resource. KD's even. Just reminds me of the first game. Like, KD was very close in the first game, but the res collected much higher for Hearttt. And eventually, Yo just can't compete anymore. All right, so chat knows the way. Yo knows the way. Let's see if Yo can get a win with the way. I've seen a lot of games on this map in silver, gold, platinum, and also practice sessions behind the scenes. And I've never seen anyone play way here. This map has been dominated by a lot of infantry civs. So we've seen like Bulgarians, we've seen Burgundians for the Flemish militia, we've seen Armenians for the longswords. I think for Yo, he's clearly going to play very defensive. Hearttt moves forward here. Now, Hearttt did this before in a prior rounds. He moved forward. Awkward. Awkward, 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 awkward. He moved forward. He went for the lane, but he did not know Yo's scout was standing there. And then he was committed. But if you steal this boar, while there is some chances to recover... Oh, hold on. Okay. There was a choke point, and Yo just stood in it and blocked the door. And then Hearttt laughed. Anyways, like if you get the lame, you could slow your opponent down if they're trying to go for man-at-arms. Hearttt takes the risk, doesn't pay off. Nice play there from Yo. Boar is still just kind of randomly standing there. And Yo is now going to bring in the boar anyway. So nice play from Yo. But yeah, Way just becomes stronger if you get your eco upgrades in, right? But they're not really a civ that dishes out the pressure. They're a civilization that survives the pressure. And I feel like for Yo, that hasn't worked out too well so far today. That was weird, though, how the boar just stood there. I thought that Hearttt was still in the boar's vision. I'm not going to go back now. Actually, screw it. Let's go back and look at the boar's vision when we do that. We have time.
Yes.
Okay, boar fog of war. Wait. So, yeah, that... Based on my knowledge of how boars should work, that boar should still be chasing. But I think it randomly reset. Maybe because it was blocked off or something like that. But I don't know, guys. That's the second instance on this new patch where we had an instance where the boar behavior seems different. I'll have to talk to the devs about it. Like, typically, I feel like if it can't chase, it would always still try and chase. And it would still be, like, running there. But maybe because it got blocked off, it just kind of reset. But it normally doesn't matter. If there is no path, that boar is going to freaking go after that scout regardless. It never just stops. We had an instance the other day as well where there was a weird instance. But yeah, that's a rather specific thing. So Yo gets all his food. Now Yo moves out here. What Yo's expecting from the Burgundians is probably the Flemish militia. And I think that's the big reason why you picked the Burgundians here. Heartt's probably wondering what on earth Yo's plan is going to be. I think eventually Yo probably wants to play Jean base. The unit was nerfed, but it's basically a very strong cav archer unit. And maybe Yo actually wants to try and play scouts as an opening. Technically, I mean, you still can play men-at-arms with the way. It's just you don't have any early Sid bonuses for it. What's up, Cassius? Welcome. Erudite, thank you. Barefoot, Furman. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for the subs. I'll keep an eye on the sub goals. I've got new DLC keys to give away. I've got base game keys to give away. And we have, like, all the merch as well. So as we hit sub goals over the last 3 weeks, I will do giveaways to chat. I think we're really close to the first one already, so thanks, guys. What this map used to be, so I remember this map from 4 years ago, we didn't see any man-at-arms. We just saw scouts, scouts, and more scouts. It was like crazy scout spam. Lots of Magyars were played. If anyone played Bulgarians there, people were actually playing Bulgarians to spam scouts. Hearttt is running this way now with the villager, which feels like a sneaky barracks. Like he wants the barracks to surprise Yo, which could be a pretty decent play. Villager's still over here. Hearttt doesn't really know where his target's going to be. He's guessing that there's going to be villagers up here, of course, but he hasn't confirmed it or seen it yet. He has to be careful. This could get kind of dangerous. And then for Yo, typically you're looking for this. I think he's expecting the barracks here, and that's why he's walled as he has. But he's not expecting the pressure right next to his fish. Still, though, I think you should always pre-wall this. And Heartt's like, where is he? And he's like, ooh, okay. So obviously, your scout's weak now. So not getting the lame's kind of brutal. You can't block and attack as much with that scout. And Hearttt getting a feel for what Yo's doing. And Yo still, I think, assuming he hasn't scouted too much here. You're never expecting the forward barracks. And Hearttt might actually want to keep this villager around and block off the opponent from moving to the outside. Like where the stones and the golds are. Players always expand beyond their shorefish to go there. So Hearttt might go this way, for example. Yo might do the same. And archer range from Hearttt. Wow. Why does it feel like Yo's going to find this? Like, this would just be so crazy if he finds it. There's no reason to look over here. Yeah, he's not finding it, but he was pretty damn close. I think he's waiting for some army to come in. Like, he's still expecting pressure here because the typical play is they build up and they would walk around. But he doesn't know how fast the army is going to get here. Now he sees the Flemish militia. This is just simply much faster than it would typically get here because the barracks is on the front from Hearttt. So again, great opening from Hearttt. He needs the villager kills, though. Scouts go down for both players. And again, Yo can recover his villagers because he gets his eco upgrades, but now he's off the food. Nice pressure here from Hearttt to start it off. Let's see how the micro is. Yo just needs to hop in and out of the tower with the weak vills. Usually staying underneath the tower like this is not a great play because the smart players are going to send the weak villagers in there. But I guess if you keep bringing this many Flemish, eventually he can't have fresh villagers anymore unless he comes from his base. That is a lot of idle time. And again, it's just Hearttt applying aggression. Yo just sitting back. Behind this, Heartt's got villagers working on the box turtles and the shorefish, which is extremely efficient. And now he's got some skirmishers here, too. Guys, there is a non-zero chance that Mr. Yo gets relegated from Titans League. Like, right now, there's a non-zero chance. And if he loses 3-0 here, and has one more round to go, things get very interesting. I mean, he just hasn't had a great season compared to the rest of them. And Heartt's playing extremely well. Extremely confident, anyways. More villagers come out. He is to move away. Someone says Mr. Yo is doing a Tottenham. Oh, poor Tottenham fans. What's so funny about that, as a little side note, so I got my fiance into football, right? At maybe 7 years ago, back when Harry Kane's tearing up the league, right? And I'm a United fan, and I was like, if you want to support United, I'd love that, but choose your team. So I tried to show her exciting players and stuff, and she chose Tottenham, and I was like, are you sure? Let me tell you the history of Tottenham for a second. And I tried my best to warn her. So anyway, she's not been watching as much this year. She's been in some pain. And right now, Mr. Yo's still in some pain. And I can't help but just remind you guys, the shore fish are so valuable. You need workers working on the fish out here instead of farming. That's what this map is all about. And Hearttt just continues to pile in so much pressure. Yes, he is losing units, but the worker efficiency for Yo is still really low. Eventually, he might even lose this tower. Hearttt just keeps sending the Flemish militia, keeps sending the skirms. Still has only killed 2 villagers, though. But there's so many weak villagers around for Yo, right? And, like, the Flemish militia are quick, too. So that should be another villager kill. That could be another villager kill. That's 4 villagers down for Yo. There's another villager here as well. That's 5 villagers down for Yo. I mean, Hearttt is just smashing him. Just straight up smashing him. Worker efficiency last minute, 65% versus 55%. Overall worker efficiency is 5% higher from Hearttt. And the barracks archer range on the front is such a cool strategy. You would never be able to continue to follow up with Flemish militia without the forward barracks. It's such a nice adaptation here. But, I mean, Yo still has that tendency to hold on. Maybe he can do that. He obviously can't go this way for any more fish. He would have to come this direction. That's why Hearttt is just looping around right now. But Wei's just... It was a confusing choice. And I'm waiting to see it pay off here. I mean, luckily he can recover the vills with eco upgrades. I think Yo needs a counterattack. He needs some attack over at the opponent's side. Typically, if someone's at your base, you want to counter immediately, but he's just stunned. 2 archers to Heartt's base, and Hearttt could have some real problems. But I think Heartt's got pretty good understanding that, pretty good control over the game to know if that army would move out. I think a small adaptation Hearttt needs to do, though, is just go with defensive towers. And yeah, there's one, but like, find stone on the outside, which he hasn't scouted yet, and build more. That tower's still fine, though, because that will protect another 1,000 or 1,200 food around. And that's where he has most of his vills. T90, did Yo lose this drafting? I honestly, it's been convincing enough from Hearttt. I can't just say it's a draft thing, right? Like, you got to play the game. Hearttt has just outplayed him. Also, Yo historically goes for a lot of comfort picks. There are lots of times I will always question Yo's draft, but then he makes it work. He's just a unique player. He prioritizes civs differently than others. So Yo's not meta. Heartt's meta, and Hearttt has gone for a great draft as far as that's concerned. But, like, here we go, guys. Good luck to that tower. He doesn't have much more stone to repair. Good luck to any villagers that are around. This is about to be the sweep. Honestly, the start to the fight was really good there for Yo. A lot of Flemish go down again. The archers are going after... the skirms are going after the archers. Archers still killed off some Flemish militia. But look at the eco KD now. 10-0. And he still can't recover the fish. He still can't take the fish. He still can't get any counter damage. I mean, unfortunately, we had to shift the schedule very last minute. Hearttt said that something came up. We had to move the series up an hour. He said if games were to go long, they might not be able to finish the series. Well, Heartt's playing as if he has somewhere to be, all right. Because he's just smashing him right now. And Mr. Yo is just sitting here like, oh my god, is this happening to me? I think it's over. It's got to be over. 12th villager goes down. Heartt's just a different class today. And Hearttt keeps spamming more Flemish militia, spamming more skirmishers. Random villager over here building house, blocking off all the woodline and the gold. I mean, for Hearttt, he's had control of the area that you want on this map. And the cycle just continues. The only thing at this point that's a little confusing is the score. So Yo's looking at that score like, wait a second, I'm ahead. He has destroyed a lot of military units. I think with the amount of villagers that Hearttt has killed, he probably can just stop producing army and go Castle Age soon. But he continues to go full send here. He doesn't want to allow Yo any chance of recovering. Which, I mean, makes sense. The tower here's got 28 kills, though. 29 now. I don't know if I've ever seen a feudal age tower have that many kills. It's kind of wild. And all right, back out to the fish. Yeah, more mills coming up. So you look at the value destroyed. Yo's destroyed 1,000 more value. And then res collected is like 2.5k ahead for Heartt. So it should still even out to being way better for Heartt. And then Yo's playing primarily like Archer and Skirm. I mean, guys, Yo's completely out of this, completely out of this game if he doesn't get any counterattacks. And it gets 10 times worse, too, because he just found the stone now. So that's the one thing Heartt didn't see. So, yeah, a couple vills on stone, and then by the time any counterattacks come, he'll probably have more towers out. Yeah, skirmishers chasing down the army. More Flemish militia come out. It's just so many Flemish militia, man. And you just need to get to feudal age with this civ to spam them. Flemish militia are strong in feudal age. Not necessarily on maps where you can wall, but on a map where you're open like this, it's a very good unit to have. I think the tower will actually go down now. He's been waiting for it. He researched arson before. Look how fast the tower will go down. Yep, tower will be done. Yo is on the way up to Castle H. But what is he going to have when he makes it to Castle H? Because his tower will be gone. The tower with 30 kills will be gone. And then all of his villagers will be exposed against Flemish militia and army. He's repairing the tower with what little stone he has left. Okay, now he's out of the stone to repair it. He does have a market. So, okay, bought the tower. Is there a chance? Oh, he didn't buy the tower, sorry. He bought the stone to repair the tower is what I meant to say. Still a never-ending cycle of death and destruction and misery. He's still microing his skirmishers. He's still going to need to repair the tower again with villagers that are pretty weak. Heartt still hasn't clicked up to Castle H. But Heartt is killing everything. So consistent. I've never seen this. The forward barracks Flemish militia spam is new. I really like it. But I really like it because you know your opponent isn't going to go man-at-arms with this civ. So it's completely transparent that Yo will sit back. And if it's completely transparent that Yo will sit back, yeah, then it's perfect. I don't know if this would work against like some of the other civs that we've been seeing play out in this map. Yeah, now Heartt's on the way up. I would say just switching out of Flemish militia is fine because you can still produce them while you're on the way up, so you still have a Flemish army. I don't think you need a second barracks now. I think you're just happy with what this army has done, and now you switch into stables. That's exactly what Heartt's doing. Yo is up. I mean, Yo even wanted to go for John Bays, which requires the ranges, and he just lost the archery range as well. So now he's going for a second range. Painful. Can we get the T95 fine emote, please, for Yo? That's exactly what this is for Yo. Apartment's burning down, and he's like, this is fine. This is fine. I'm in Castle Age. Let's go. I'm in Castle. First counterattack of the game from Yo honestly kind of feels like the first counterattack that could find damage in the whole series here. We've got a Jianbei and we've got a what is it even? He Guang. Yeah. He Guang and a Jianbei moving forward. Meanwhile, the stable that's researching bloodlines is in trouble. And Heartt makes it up to Castle Age. The army gets even stronger now because the Flemish get increased base stats for free just by making it to Castle Age. And Heartt can always make a couple units around here to deal with this. You would assume anyways. Bloodlines completes. So that upgrades in. That's good. And nice villager snipe there from Yo. So it gets some revenge. Still has lost a lot, though, and still has a big army over here that he needs to deal with. And the problem is he's going primarily cav archer units, and his opponent still has a lot of skirms. Oh, wow. That's a crazy town center spot, though, from Heartt. I think he can make it happen. He's got skirmishers and Flemish coming over, and the TC could still probably complete. And now there's an overchop at Yo's woodline as well. Or sorry, it looks like there was a wall there and Hearttt broke it down. Yeah, there's just so many random Flemish militia and skirmishers. It's just so much army flood from Hearttt this game. And GG. Sheesh. All right. Well. I mean, well played to Hearttt today. Hearttt played good on every single map. Every win matters for so much in TTL, and he took it there. So I think it'll be kind of tough for Hearttt to make a push for first place in the group. But let's look at the results here, man. I mean, we have had big names relegated out of TTL before, right? Vinchester won the first season, got relegated the second. We've had MBL relegated. We've had Nikov relegated. But, like, Mr. Yo being relegated would be crazy. And there's strong chances it could happen now. So here's the situation. So after that, Hearttt goes up to 7 wins. His one more set to play. Heartt's final set will be up against Syscon. So is Syscon being lower ranked, or, you know, being 2 wins, being a promoted player, you would have Hearttt as the favorite there. We're going to see in about, got to have to double check the schedule, but our next series is going to be Harris Syscon. I forget if that's in 30 minutes or an hour and 30 minutes. But Syscon getting 1 win there is huge, right? If he can get even 1 win against Hera, he's 1 win behind Mr. Yo. Lucho as well against Vinchester. Like, if Lucho snags 1 win against Vinchester, that Yo-Lucho final series is massive. Like, that is Yo's only chance to get points. And Lucho still has 6 games if you total up what he plays when he plays against Vinchester and Yo. So yeah, this is what the group looks like right now. What do you guys think? Do you think Yo will be relegated? I think I could see Lucho getting a win against Vinch. Potentially winning the series 2-1, but like 1 win against Vinch, which means if he were to beat Yo 2-1, he would relegate Yo, I think. I don't know, man. It's much closer than we thought.